Yeah. Welcome to the Jacob Wayne Show. That was our first live audio playing performance of the intro song on the Jacob Wayne Show. We finally took the time to figure out how to do it. How you doing, Kellen?
Doing good. Live and all audioed up.
Yeah. I have a little more energy. This is the last day of my quarantine. Last time we did this, it was Monday as well, right?
Yep.
So I was in like day 2 of quarantine. So did a little bit of work and yeah, still a little tired. Like did a little bit of work today, and it kind of got me back into, oh, you haven't done anything for the last week or so. And so kind of been having the tiredness, but definitely more mentally clear, not all stuffed up. I always have a little bit of that deviated septum or whatever it is, a little nasally.
Yeah.
But it's part of the charm.
Exactly. I got the bronchitis all the time.
Yeah.
So it's the thing.
Yeah. Shocky's feeling better, so this house is clear. This house is clear.
Get the Rona out.
Yeah. So nice. How has your non-quarantine week been?
Yeah, just, dirty and out there. Just everybody all around.
Licking everybody you see, huh?
Yeah.
Spitting on produce. Letting the fucking sheeple know that you're a
really
goddamn
picky
lion.
About my fruits, being like, I don't know, not this one. Keep taking them and putting them back. Just, yeah.
You know what, Kellen? It's not that I'm unvaccinated. It's that I'm a pure blood.
Oh.
That's the one I've been hearing lately. But, I mean, that's something to discuss really briefly, like not to overdo the COVID thing, which, oh man, should have said Rona. I don't know, YouTube, whatever. If so both Shockey and I have the vaccine. What I'm assuming we caught was the Delta variant. That's what kind of ripped through his workplace.
Yeah.
And so he was really fucked up. And then he took it and he was positive. And I had symptoms the next day. Definitely caught it from him. Like the coincidence of like me getting some other illness when I'm mostly a stay-at-home artist, as some might say, would be really weird. So I suppose that's a possibility if you conspiracy theorists want to run with it. But I took the test, showed up negative, but I definitely had it. Yeah. But I was already on my way out. So I was kind of curious if, like, man, if neither one of us had it, how much stronger would it have been? How much has the vaccine helped, like from the jump of each person to each person? How much does it help block that? I really don't know. I'm not a doctor, but so yeah, if you have the vaccine, you can still catch it. You can still spread it. But his workplace had it pretty hard. Maybe some didn't have the vaccine. Shockey had it. Shockey brought it home. I got it. I was fine.
The vaccine.
So do with that information as you will.
Go get it, because then nobody will get it anymore. Because that's where it came from. Is somebody unvaccinated that gave it to Shockey. So if everybody's got it, it'd be gone. And that's how vaccines work. And they've been around forever. And having them required to do things has been a thing forever. It's not new. Just like gas prices going up and down is not new and has nothing to do with the president. So go get your shot.
Well, and I'm going to give a little side note to that because I try to be nice and diplomatic on this show. But at the same time, this is the Jacob Wayne show, so I might as well share what I actually like officially think.
Yeah.
If you don't get the vaccine, I think you're being a little fucking stupid.
Yep.
And you should trust science more than your weird little religious woo-woo nonsense. But that's me, and I'm not always right. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
But you're dead on this one.
All I'm saying is I trust experts in the fields they are experts in.
Yeah.
But even between you and me, we've had this discussion before. If I'm trying to talk to somebody about jazz music, I'm going to talk to you about it. And I want your information and your take on it. And that won't even still be my official take. I will go to many jazz experts of maybe hundreds and consolidate my opinion based on that and be like, well, this is kind of what I think about jazz then. Am I going to ask my 4-year-old nephew what jazz is? Yes, I am, but I'm not going to believe him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, then what he thinks jazz is and what you think jazz is has no effect on anyone's life, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, and then if he's like, I think jazz is doo-doo, and I'll just point at him and be like, you fear jazz.
As long as it's doo-doo-bat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some people are uncomfortable with that. They want to question everything and have their own thoughts about it and do their own research.
Yep.
But who the fuck has time? I guess if we're really getting down to the semantics, it's like, yeah, I suppose there's a possibility that climate change is all a giant lie and vaccines are just some government poison. But if that's true, the amount of shit that had to have been laid on society, not just me, to like let that happen, and then just there's some kind of like whip blip blip, oop, there it is, I figured it out. That's so coincidentally nonsensical that all of existence will become absurd to me, and I will have checked out anyways. And is it really that much of a stretch to look at all these people that are anti-vax and think Jewish space lasers are coming down to take out the forest? They seem like the most sound of mind people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people that like have JFK, I think it was the mafia. I can lean back a little and be like, all right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Go on.
Go ahead. That's intriguing and interesting. And then, it was the Illuminati lizard people. You're like, okay. Immediately, the difficulty of that being pulled off is like the thing that negates it over anything else. Do I trust bureaucracy and government officials? No. I think they should be held to account at every level, because if you give somebody power, it's corrupting and it attracts people that want to take advantage of such things. And that's why I can't ever be like a full government gung-ho thing. But then we are in a world where it's more and more of a global society, and things like climate change and this and that, you do need government action to do anything about things that large.
Yeah, we the people can't do enough.
Yep. You know, the balance. And stop me if we've talked about this, but there is this concept of the centrist that I think has been really poisoned lately, like where it's a bunch of embarrassed Republicans that don't want to admit that they're part of the party that voted for Trump and raided the Capitol. So look, I'm middle of the road. I'm not offended by homophobic jokes, but I also don't say them. And you're like, yeah, those two things aren't equal. Like, you should be anti-homophobic jokes.
It's unfortunate, but once you know of the atrocity, you've got to speak out against it.
Well, and let me correct myself there. A homophobic joke can be funny if it trips over into the absurd. Like if you're, say, pretending to be Ted Cruz and just talking like he talks on the weekends, that's an absurdist, satirical, homophobic joke. Obviously, those are fine. If we can't do those, then yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. But I don't think anybody's saying you can't do those. It's just like, hey man, this person's just saying homophobic shit. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. It's the whole cancel thing, and every podcast talks about that, and we're not talking about that. But this concept of being a centerist and being in the middle, there's people that are like, look, dude, I am absolutely against this attempted coup theocracy of the oligarchical Trump family.
Yes.
At every turn, I'm going to be against that. I don't give a fuck if a couple good things happened to the economy while they were in charge. Does that mean I'm
did
a
not.
super hardcore left liberal? Like, no. Because, yeah, there is some silly shit on that side. Like, abolish the police. Let's just get rid of them. And there's people on the left that were like, well, maybe that wasn't the best slogan. What we mean is take the funding for police and redistribute it so it works properly for the community. And like, well, I wish you would have said that, because now I have to defend abolish the police, your little slogan, to my fucking uncle at Thanksgiving. But then you do meet your lefty friends who are like, no, I just don't think we should have police at all. And you're like, well, that's ridiculous.
That's as dumb as the conservatives who think that we'll govern ourselves.
So then now you have these two different versions of like what a centrist is. And all I can say for myself is I want to use science and reason, constantly tested data and information, put into effect. And if it doesn't work, change it. And I feel like a fair amount of European nations, your Norways, your Swedens, they've kind of gone in the direction I would like to go. Obviously, you have to make some adjustments for whatever the United States is, but if it's not emulating them, what I feel like we're trying to get to is Star Trek. That's why I want to make the Star Trek party. It's not fully libertarian. It's not fully socialist. It's this. No, it's just we feed everybody. Yeah. And we go and explore existence together. Yeah. On equal footing, equity. Exactly. But that's wild and that's crazy. What are you drinking?
No, it's impossible.
We don't have a little song drop for this, do we?
No.
Right. Except this.
I'm drinking, I think this is a repeat.
Tell me more about it while I look for something real quick. Can you see my screen?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm drinking the Ferda Imperial IPA from Templin Family Brewing from Salt Lake. It is a delicious double IPA. They anybody that knows any Utah beers, I think it's the same brewer that came up with Ella Fino, which is another. Oh damn.
Oh shit. What is it again?
Drinking?
That wasn't what I was looking for. Tell me more about it.
I don't know. It's really good.
What's the percentage on it? Did you already say that?
Oh, 8.2. It comes in a pint can. Pint can.
Wait a minute. Where is it brewed again?
Templin Family Brewing. Nice.
Yeah. You folks, you 5 people that listen to this show have no idea what has just been unleashed.
Yep. Let the soundboard roll.
Alrighty. Well, just a blood orange White Claw Surge.
Nice.
For an 8% drink, they fuck you up. But for how much they fuck you up the next day, not that rough.
Yep.
You type all that up, slap it on the side of the can. Yep. Yeah. That's all I got to say about it.
Indeed.
But, just doing my seltzer business. I also got a Tucky over here in case I need to get to it. But with that, what food stuff have you been doing this week?
Oh man. I don't really think I had anything too crazy or new. I did go back to Morty's burger joint down here and got the so I think I told you about the mortician when I got that, but I went back. I haven't been there in a couple of, pretty long time before that. They have a burger called the Hawaiian burger that I got that I missed. I think it's pretty tasty. Got some pineapple relish, got some pastrami, some jalapenos. And I always add the sriracha mayo. Ooh, it's good.
Okay. Does it have jalapenos?
Oh yeah, big old pile of them. Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because that is my favorite pizza toppings, the jalapeno pineapple.
Yep.
Sure. So there's something I made the other day. I wanted to look up the ingredients. I made it right before the COVID kicked in, so I kind of forgot about it last time we recorded. But this was like using leftovers in the fridge, and it turned out really good. And I don't know. Somebody told me once this is an offensive term. Have you ever had Hawaiian haystacks?
Yeah. Who said that was?
I honestly couldn't. I want to say it was one of my punk rock buddies back in the day. I was like, dude, you want to have some Hawaiian haystacks? And he's like, dude, don't call it that. And
wow.
If you want to look up the Google alternative name for Hawaiian haystacks real quick, because he told me that and I already forgot it.
Okay.
But this is similar. What I made was some cauliflower rice in the air fryer. And one thing I'll say right off the bat is I've made cauliflower rice like in a pot or whatever else, and it's a little soggy and If you don't have an air fryer yet, you should absolutely have an air fryer. It's just the capabilities. You can make wings, you can really toasty up your cauliflower rice. Like, it has so much to it. But what I did is I used that, then cherry tomatoes, pineapple, jalapeno, chicken, cilantro, peas, soy sauce, and sesame oil. And you mix that all up. And yeah, man. Oh, yeah. And it made me want to make Hawaiian haystacks, which has like the cream of chicken and cheese and those crunchy Chinese noodles. Was that offensive? I don't know if that's offensive.
Hawaiian haystacks is not the preferred nomenclature. Chicken Sunday, please.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, the chicken Sunday. Which it works fine. If we all want to switch it, if we all decided we want to switch it.
Dude.
My family, I don't, not to call them out or anything, but growing up, there wasn't like a lot of meals that really stuck out to me as like, oh my God, like we're doing that? Hell yeah. One of them was like roast beef and mashed potatoes. Like, yeah, great. It's kind of hard to screw that up. And my mom did make an excellent gravy. But Hawaiian haystacks or chicken Sundays were, it was a Sunday meal and it was excellent. Yeah. And back in the day, they had olives and tomato, and I would always just do the pineapple, cream of chicken, cheese, Chinese noodles, rice. So, yeah,
there you go, man. My whole thing about that is like, I had a buddy that was Hawaii, and I can't imagine them being annoyed. That's like what their name is. That's like not a bad term in any way. And I fear the first thing they would want is us to say Hawaii, right? Well, we don't even it's like been mispronounced forever. Hawaii? They just gave up. Yep, exactly. It's like a V actually instead of a W. Hawaii.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm not saying.
And
I'm
to
not
clarify
calling you out,
here, the person that corrected me was a kid 2 years older than me as teenagers back in 2003 or 4. Exactly. It was a different time, and so even then, it was like,
Huh?
All right. Like, but it's like just Hawaiian flavors. It's because of the coconut some people use
Yeah.
and pineapple.
Yep.
It's like it's the location. It's not the people.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. Anyway,
Yep.
so there you go. Like, if we're going to continue with this centrist theme, if you legitimately think Hawaiian haystacks is like really offensive, then I think you're ridiculous.
We got to
But if
come a
you're
little
like,
bit under here.
dude, like I'm Hawaiian and we're just trying to change it over this because it's like it's a white guy dish that's just using some of the ingredients from our island that they took over. We prefer chicken Sundays or white boy salad. And okay. Sure.
Or the people that were quiet for 4 years, but now we're talking a lot of shit on Biden. I'm totally fine if you talk shit on Biden, but not the ones that were totally quiet for the previous 4 years.
Well, we'll get into some of that Biden stuff later.
Word.
Trust me.
Oh yeah.
And we'll try to be fair and balanced. But with that, another food thing, all I would say is that while Shaki and I had the COVID, appetite didn't go anywhere. We had a buddy who kept giving us groceries and just dropping them off, and we'd PayPal them, which thank God for that. But we just food and just food, sleep. Like, and it was just like turkey sandwiches. We had soups, some chips. We made stew the first Sunday. I made this chicken curry, but it was mixed with something else. It's like dal. You heard of dal?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Tons of spinach, and need to eat me spinach.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it on food. That's the most.
That's some tasty stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds
so
good.
With that, let's get into music. There's not a drop for that, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Want me to do a few random things quick?
Sure. Hit me up with what you got because I might go off.
All right, just two random little things. First of all, Stairway to Heaven. Happy birthday. It turned 50 today. So
that song I totally respect, but never want to listen to. Just like all the 50-year-olds in my life.
Nice.
I
quite enjoyed
that's
it.
Not 15 years away.
Yeah, it's coming. Unfortunate. I like that song immensely, but it's got a lot of nostalgia. It was overplayed, but I think it's been long enough it can come on back. But that's just me. Next bit of item.
Wait, while we're on the point. So one podcast I'll definitely admit to ripping off a little bit is the Sunday Papers with Greg Fitzsimmons and Mike Gibbons. Hey, see, I even took a Gibbons.
Hey.
And but they do kind of more straight through all the Sunday sections of the paper, and it's a really funny podcast. They definitely come from an older perspective than either of us, and we hit different areas. So podcasts are podcasts, radio shows are radio shows. I don't feel like we're ripping them off. We're just giving our angle on a well-worn path. That being said, something that I'll just bring up that I thought was interesting. I think it was Mike Gibbons on that show. He brought up how when one of those classic rock songs come on, like Freebird or Stairway to Heaven, if you turn on the radio and it's halfway through it, you're like, fuck this. I don't want to hear it. But if you can start it from the very beginning and go through the whole journey, then you're like, okay, hell yeah, let's go. And it really is. It's just this building momentum of these classic rock songs. It's like, okay, if I'm going on the journey, let me like put on my fucking jacket and get my joint and let's go. But you're on your way home from the grocery store and it's just like
You're like, ah, stop. Where did that come
have
from?
silence?
Exactly.
I thought it was an excellent point.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, if somebody's like, dude, I want to listen to not Freebird, Stairway to Heaven, then yeah. All right, start from the beginning. Otherwise, no
from the
interest.
top. I mean, the beginning's the best part. That guitar riff is so cool. I love it. So
I've seen some memes of like what the bassist was doing during that section of the song. He's just like watering the plants or like something
He's
like
got
that.
like 6 minutes, I think. Goddamn.
But I mean, you know, if you're a good bass player that's showing up and laying down what you're supposed to, let the guitar player go off for a minute, take a break, go take a hit, drink some water, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have, not every member has to occupy every single moment of every song.
That's true. They should
There's
come in
like the
eventually.
singer can like, and Fred Durst needs to remember that. I'm not trying to shit on him, but there are so many really cool Limp Bizkit songs. Yes, I'm still on that because I've been still digesting that new album. It's just like, just shut up. If you just did the verses and the chorus and just stop, it would be a 10 times better song, but he has to feel every, yeah, oh, what? And just like, you don't need that right there. It's the breakdown. It's the instrument. Shut the fuck up. You, of all people, should know the power of shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But,
dude, on that note, Wes Borland posted a sick tutorial of one of the riffs from their new album. I've never seen him like without all this shit on. He looks like the Wes Coogan and or like that one show. What's the other guy's name? John Oliver. Yeah, Steve Coogan and John Oliver.
That's hilarious. I never would have come to that conclusion. I still don't know if I totally see it, but I'll take it. He might even like that. No, yeah, he did a tutorial for the first song on the album, Out of Style.
That's it. Yeah.
Which is like a really cool whammy bar. He's always been really cool with that whammy bar thing. Like
he does some cool stuff. Yeah, like totally. That's some hard shit to play. Like that's a different kind of guitar technical skill.
Yeah. Well, and he had a beef with like the Dream Theater dude way back in the day.
Oh yeah. Oh,
in the sense that he's just like, I don't like listening to Dream Theater. He's like, of course they're technically proficient and amazing, but that's not what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I listen to shit like the Jesus Lizard and like punk stuff and old metal. Like it's all about aggression and like,
yeah,
it's not about the difficulty, and the things that are difficult about that is more like stamina rather than like precision or whatever. And so that's like one of those things we've talked about on the show before, where it's like that weird line between precision and technicality and then just art. And you know, you got to have respect for both. And obviously people just shit on him is like, they're way better at guitar than you. And I think he even at one point was like, yeah, I know. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't like listening to that stuff. So why would I write songs like that?
That's the thing. That doesn't necessarily mean they're better than guitar. That means they spent all their time working on really fast scales and arpeggios instead of whammy bar and making it sound as chugga as possible, you know?
Right.
That's still the same thing. I bet he spent just as many hours. So
well, and I would say, and I feel like maybe I've already treaded this ground before, so I'll try to be quick, but the band of Limp Bizkit are all very talented individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Fred himself is not bad at singing. Rapping, especially considering nowadays rappers, which we'll also get to, not too shabby either. It's just that he says really stupid things.
Yeah.
And acts like a goofball, but over the years, I think he's embraced the fact that it's like, no, this is always a silly, goofy band.
Mhm.
And me as a fan, since I was young, I'm always gonna want all the Limp Bizkit members to leave and just like make an instrumental album
Yeah.
and just like, Fred, take a vacation and just let us do what we do without you. And I'll admit, it would lose a tiny bit of the charm.
Yeah.
You'd be like, this is great and this is amazing, but oh yeah, I kind of wanted one little like whatever. But that being said, if you haven't ever listened to it, there's all kinds of West Portland side projects that have like a little element of him. It's his solo records. He
Mhm.
did his Eat the Day project when he left Limp Bizkit for the second time.
Yeah.
He has Blacklight Burns, which is a little more goth, industrial rock kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just a great guitar player, great musician. So
Yeah.
I want people to know him and respect him.
Yep. His
And
solo albums are amazing. Everybody
yeah,
should listen to those. I can't, like we said, like I can't imagine how somebody couldn't like enjoy those.
but we all have our biases.
Yep.
If somebody's like, I tried with that the Killers album, I was like, I have an opinion about this, but I never listened to a full album. Let me listen to it. And it
Yeah.
still was like, maybe I should have went and listened to an old one, but that wasn't the purpose of the review. I was
Yep.
trying to review something new. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, I was disappointed, but at least I tried.
Yep.
I've been going through Sonic Youth and all this like 80s indie punk rock stuff from New York.
Nice.
Some of it I've like, wow, I'm bummed I missed this. And some of it I'm like, yeah, I missed it.
That's fair.
Yeah. But there is one new release maybe you can talk about and I'll add my points. But I want to get into new releases before we talk about this next music thing. So
Yeah.
any new releases on your end?
Well, I think we might have talked about the single or mentioned it coming out, but the Diablo Swing Orchestra album dropped.
Yes, the full album has dropped. That's what I was
Yes.
hinting at.
Oh, that's yeah.
Let's actually bring up a little bit of details on that because I haven't memorized it.
Man, it's killer. I listened to the whole thing, and there's some really cool shit on there. There's like,
how much do you know about the details of the band?
not. I know it's mainly like the guitar player and the main singer is like the main dude that does most of it. That's all I know, really.
It's actually the bassist.
Oh, word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like they switched the singer though somewhere in their discography.
I think it's the same male singer the whole time.
Well, the same male singer, but the female.
Oh yeah, the
singer
female for sure. Yeah.
changed.
And then there's some interesting stuff on this one. It gets pretty out there.
Yeah, so I was under
really
the
cool.
impression that's the bassist singer, but then they switched the female singer. If you're a Diablo Swing Orchestra fan, let me know if I'm wrong. But the name of the album is Swagger and Stroll Down the Rabbit Hole. I've never been a big fan of the artwork they choose. I'll admit that.
Yeah, I've never been there.
I'm like, all right, it's kind of cartoony, but whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty cool title for an album. I'll give them that. Couple favorite tracks, I would say War Painted Valentine. They did a social media post about how that was influenced by Sepultura, which is a Brazilian metal band we've talked about on the podcast before.
Yeah, they're cool.
Speed Dating an Arsonist is like that EDM swing stuff, but it's actually pretty catchy.
That one was pretty goddamn cool, man.
And then I think the two after that I really liked Out Came the Hummingbirds. That's kind of like got this video game gent metal thing going on.
Yeah.
And then the Prima Donna Gauntlet, which just had a really cool heavy breakdown, but the whole
Oh
thing's
yeah.
pretty great.
I really dug Jig of the Century and Overture to a Ceasefire as well. Were pretty cool. Yeah,
Hell
all
yeah.
those you mentioned. Yeah, every single song had its own kind of vibe. And at first I was just kind of like, what is going on? This is a little different than their other ones. But I was like,
Yeah.
after I got it like listened to them, like, okay, that's badass.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really cool stuff in there. And they do that dubstep shit. Like that guy is a tasty musician, kind of like Wes Borland,
Yeah.
like he just knows what sounds cool, knows how to write cool shit, and like
Yeah.
he makes it cool. He
Absolutely.
doesn't do it too much. It's when he does it, he's like, okay, I did it better than anyone else has ever done it. Okay, so yeah, moving on.
Yeah. Can actually really play the guitar part that's in it that we totally digitize and make weird. We played it ourselves. Little
Yeah.
things like that.
There's one with a whole bunch of singers singing like jazz. I think it's one of the ones we mentioned. It might be that the
Mm.
hummingbird one, but it's like lots of jazz scatting and stuff that they kind of do that with, kind of start messing with it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I do need to give it another listen to fully digest it, but I did really like it. Radiohead released their Kid A Amnesia. It's like that re-release of Kid A, Amnesiac, and then all the B-sides.
Nice.
It was very nice, and I really like Radiohead. I'll take anything they give me, but I was a little disappointed with the third disc of the B-sides. I was kind of like, oh, kind of reworked versions from Amnesiac, and there were some really good B-sides on it. So overall, if you have a Spotify account, it's there. It's for you. So great.
Mm-hmm.
More content, but probably something I wouldn't try to pick up on vinyl other than me just trying to get Kid A and Amnesiac, which are great albums, of course.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to a local band in here in Fort Collins, good friends of ours, Los Toms. That's LOS space TOMS, Los Toms. They just released an album called Totem. 6 songs, 46 minutes and 22 seconds of deliciousness. So go check that out.
Hell yeah.
And
Local.
yeah, hope to play a show with them in the future. Not trying to influence you, Los Toms, if you're listening, but trying to influence you. So any other music? Okay, this is what I was going to get into.
Here we go.
The 8 people, was it 8 people that died at this Houston concert?
Yeah.
The Astroworld event by Travis Scott.
Yeah.
I want to get into this and break it down a little, but not too long. Have you heard of Travis Scott?
This is the first I've heard of him.
Okay. Some of my other friends were asking me if I heard about this, and I was like, oh no, I know who Travis Scott is. And I think he even had an album that was called Astroworld or something like that. It was a Pitchfork recommend. It was like, this is one of the new up and coming rappers you should pay attention to. And sometimes Pitchfork makes really good recommendations, and other times it's just like, what is this? This is the up and coming round. We're like, shut up. And I listened to it, and while the beats had some interesting trippiness to them, it was basically processed current pop music. I didn't care. Listened to it once, didn't give a shit. And I'm not coming from a don't like modern stuff perspective. I love Kendrick Lamar. J. Cole's great, which I think he's in their same graduating class, if that's how you want to phrase it, I guess. Because I'm sure that they're the old guys now.
Yeah.
But like, anyways, Travis Scott. And it's interesting because I guess what it was is it's just like the showrunners at this event didn't plan for spacing properly. And from what I was reading, which admittedly was just a bunch of Reddit stuff, so not the best source of stuff, but the way it was set up is that if you don't pay attention to the spacing of people, it does create this dynamic where if you pack too many people in, if people start moving, it's almost like water and becomes almost more like a fluid like movement. And if it crashes up against a barrier, you're going to crush people. And so all these people that had, from what I understand, and I haven't done a deep dive, these people got crushed up against the front, which puts them into cardiac arrest. And so it's like 8 heart attacks or something, or like 1 heart attack, 8 deaths, but maybe from cardiac arrest or something like that.
Wow.
And of course, it's 2021, so people have been running around saying that one guy was running around with a needle that had fentanyl in it and was injecting random people.
Oh boy.
You still hear me? Okay, my computer just did a weird little thing. I was talking about the fentanyl guy, and they're just like, shut it down.
Yeah.
But obviously another fucking silly, stupid conspiracy theory. And once again, if you can show me the guy, then all right, fine. I was wrong. And my whole concept of how the world works is wildly wrong. So fuck. I might as well give up.
Nope.
But one element of it that I was going to talk about is that I did come across this bizarre video of like it was either a guy who had cardiac arrest or one of the dead bodies even, where they're carrying him out over like the crowd, and then Travis Scott is up on this like little stand and he's just like but it's in auto tune, so it's doing the
oh god.
And he's just standing there just like looking at it.
Yep.
Now I want to be clear about this. That image of a dead body, or what looks like a dead body, being carried out of the crowd while he's doing that with an auto tune on his voice, was like, this is the most depressingly Gen Z thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, let me clarify. I'm not saying all Gen Z's like that. I'm just saying that every generation has had their crushings at concerts. I think there was one at a Rolling Stones concert. There was a Limp Bizkit concert.
Yeah.
With a poor girl that lost her life in Sydney, Australia. Like, it happens and it's fucked up. And it's usually the show, like the venue's fault.
Yep.
So I'm not 100% shitting on Travis Scott, other than the fact that he was looking at this and like kept performing.
No, they asked him
the process.
No, they asked him to stop. They asked him to calm the crowd down, and he just kept encouraging it. So fuck that guy. I hope they put him in jail actually for all those deaths.
Is that official that he's like, yeah, get him?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't see any of that.
Guy.
All I saw was like which I'm like, did he think that was soothing? It was like going to calm him down? Like, maybe he did. But my point with the Gen Z thing is just that all the flavoring of that image is very Gen Z. And now I was like, wow, like just auto-tune rapper looking at a dead guy getting carried out. And it's like, yeah, if you put him in jeans with a tied up sweatshirt around his waist, and he was just like, oh, yes, sir. This is the body's getting carried out. You're like, wow, that's one of the most Gen X things I've ever seen. But I'm not shitting on Gen Zers. I'm just like, wow, like what a bizarre image. And
y'all should give up on auto-tune though.
Unless it's a cool thing that you do on a song called Robatitude, where it's like actually trying to sound like a robot.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
But it goes back to the Diablo Swing Orchestra thing.
Yeah.
Just like, know your tools and how you're using them is this Are you actually trying to sound beautiful? Well, then use your natural voice. Are you trying to have that effects? Cool, use it. But it can be very annoying, like the theremin or the saxophone.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Yeah.
But anyway, once again, one last thing to this Travis Scott thing is that it was just an endless sharing of other bands, of other musicians, calming the crowd down. It was like, no, we're gonna stop playing. Everybody shut the fuck up and let the paramedics get through. Like, it was like Green Day and Slipknot, and I think there was a J. Cole one, and like every genre, every style of music. Even these pop artists had people getting crushed just because of how much they fucked up packing people in, which seems to be the thing. And yeah, this Travis guy just fucked it up. I'm kind of glad I wasn't a Travis Scott fan before this. I'm not saying I called anything. I'm just saying, like, if you were a fan of him and then
that would suck.
You're like, found out he's like that.
Yeah.
I guess that's like any musician you're really into. Find out they do some fucked up shit. Or I got one, Kevin Spacey. He was an actor. I thought he was an amazing actor. And then when you find out about shit he's done, you're like,
God,
oh, he was kind of just filtering out himself into these fucked up roles. I thought he was just really good at acting. Well, I don't know. I don't have any. That's what's wrong with this generation. It's not what I'm trying to say.
Well, it's just nothing like that. It's just we could make this better.
This fucked up.
And those shows suck. Those big giant shows suck. 50,000 people show sounds fucking terrible. Nobody wants to go to that. We should more tiny concerts, more luxury theater concerts where you go sit down in like a lazy boy. You got all the room. And
I got to argue with you on behalf of my friends. I'm on your side, but I've had the discussion about the whole festival thing. Most of my friends love it. And I don't get it. I don't understand why you'd want to go get in a crowd of that many people sweating.
Most people, if they're around
just
here,
the hit songs for a half an hour from each band, and you have to run around from stage to stage, spend $12 for a bottle of water. I don't get it.
Yeah, those kind of festivals. Yeah, those people are wrong. There's a lot of festivals around here though, are like smaller and not like that, and they're okay. I'm talking about those mega festivals. Well, that doesn't sound like any fun, but we don't have any of those around here.
No, well, they can come to Denver, but
yeah,
no, I gotta tell you, people do love them.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I think people like that maybe something like that might happen. I think people like to get around that many people and look at all the fucked up humanity going on.
Yeah.
Whether it's some girl just whipping out her titties, one guy punching another guy, one guy crying in the corner on drugs. Get to see Travis Scott do Astroworld for a minute. They're just like, wow. You get to like see if you can spot Fentanyl guy.
There
he's like, he's the new Waldo. Can you spot Fentanyl guy? He's trying to kill people because of Satan.
Yay.
Satan. Sure, he's not there, and it's anyway. If you think it was satanic or any of that, shut up.
Yep.
It's just like, no, it's a bunch of dumb young people going to a dumb show with a dumb musician being dumb.
Lots of dumb.
And it's not that hard to be dumb because human beings are kind of dumb.
Yeah.
It's not the devil.
I see him out there all the time.
You don't gotta like wonder what that sound is in your house. But this is exactly what a devil worshiper would say, right? Try to like get your guard down.
Yep. That's just how they get you. I mean, that's how they get you.
Yeah. Anyway, how long have we been going? Do you know?
I think we've done a pretty good episode, probably.
A full episode?
Yeah,
Let's
coming
skip
up on a-
movies and go right in. Because we got to
Okay.
play a couple more drops.
Indeed.
So we're going to go.
Wait, I never even did my
What?
other music thing. That's
So
fine.
do
Let
your,
me
do
go
your
on.
music thing. Let's get it out of the way. It's the current show.
I don't think I did. I didn't talk about George Harrison, right?
Nope.
No. So George Harrison's childhood home is up for auction. It's in Liverpool. The only reason I think this is cool is because I went
Okay.
there. So
Okay. Go ahead.
that's all. That's all it is. But I actually saw that place, and it was
Sometimes we should discuss. Sometimes we shouldn't. And sometimes we should, because you can't go from Travis Scott and Fentanyl Guy and Satan down into George Harrison's house.
that's why I was totally fine to skip it. I just saw it sitting there on my screen. I was like, oh yeah. But
It's current news though, right?
yeah, this is right now. So
There you go.
this is happening. George Harrison's house up for sale. And but it's crazy because I went there and it was like a little old lady was living there, and we like went and looked at it, and the guy was like, sometimes she'll come out and say hello. And we like saw her in the window, just like peek out. It's like, get away from me.
You know what happened, right?
She ate George.
Fentanyl Guy showed up and killed her. He's gonna
Time
take
to
the
sell.
house. He's gonna buy it and then lick all the walls to get the good juju.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna put it in the fucking vials to go to the next fucking
Show and
festival
and
kill all
8
those
people.
fucking sweet innocent kids doing all those butt chugging drugs.
Yeah, the ones at the front row, the very front row only, though. Like where it's logical it would be that you'd get crushed at something.
That's where the most innocent people are.
Mm-hmm.
Right up front.
Yep.
Goddamn Satanists, you know.
Filthy butt checkers.
And it's those yeah. You know.
Dark princes.
Yeah. Any other music news?
No, that's it.
Is that the clip? Fentanyl Guy taking George Harrison's house. I think we jam
Licking the walls.
a
Yeah.
little bit. All right. All right, so we're gonna combine. We maybe need to come up with a new science news drop, like separate from weird news. But our science news and weird news kind of tie together.
We're all going in, all of it.
So, you ready for some weird news?
Let's do
Wait.
What's that?
What am I thinking?
You have one?
No, that we were supposed to do philosophy, remember?
Oh yeah.
Where's this philosophy? Is this it? No, philosophy. Fuck it, we'll go to
Think
weird
Deeps.
news.
Okay.
Wait, nope, I got it. Think Deeps.
Quite.
Oh no. God, don't be stupid. This is the best show we've ever done.
Quite. I agree.
Yes. I dare say. Do tell.
Yes.
Quite.
Yes.
Think Deeps. See, I like those new song drops because give us a minute to take a drink.
Get some beers. Yeah.
Oh my lord. Sometimes these episodes you're like, another thing about the fucking Illuminati's. What's the world like out there? I've been in quarantine. Is it just gone crazy over the last 10 days?
None of worse than it was before. Seems about the same, really.
Alrighty. Well, what's the philosophy question for this week?
Here we go. What's the difference between free trade and fair trade?
We're gonna do weird news.
Weird news. Yeah, stuff like that.
Wrong one.
Yeah.
This is the fake news. All right, hold on.
Oh, that's
There we go.
actually us. That wasn't even
Yeah.
affected. That was me making those noises. Nice.
It was all the
like that. like that. Like that.
I like that. Whoop.
Yeah.
All right. So I will start first. This is not weird news. Well, like I said, there's no science drop yet. So I just wanted to get into some more positive sciencey news, which is always positive to me. This is
Yay.
from AP News. Air scrubbing machines gain momentum, but long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
On a field ringed by rolling green hills in Iceland, fans attached to metal structures that look like an industrial-sized Lego project. I hate the little jokes they put in.
Yeah.
Oh well. Their mission is to scrub the atmosphere by sucking carbon dioxide from the air and storing it safely underground. Just a few years ago, this technology known as direct air capture was seen by many as an unrealistic fantasy, but the technology has evolved to where people consider it a serious tool in fighting climate change. And you know what? Why don't you have you ever heard of this before? While I kind of scan this,
I hadn't heard about like this specific thing. I've heard of the idea a little bit, and
like capturing the carbon,
yeah,
and I've heard
which
about putting
I'm
it
all
underground.
yeah, and I'm all for it. Like anyone who's like anything we can do, we should start doing. So yeah, sweet, let's do it. Even if it's it's gonna
Kind of
get
a
better.
little wild idea.
I feel like people forget that, like, think that science is a thing that's not moving. They think it's just
They
this
like to think
evil.
that scientists are up at a table in a tower that fentanyl guy is guarding,
Yeah.
and
They
10
just
of
sit
them are
there.
just standing around like, hey, we're perfect.
What will we have our lib cucks do next?
No, it's basically all your gamer friends, except instead of doing gaming, they're kind of doing a little like weird experiments. And they're like,
Yeah.
fuck, that didn't work. Let's try it for the
Yeah.
3000th time.
You saw their Minecraft house a few years ago, but you look at the one they have now, you're going to be like,
Right.
oh my gosh.
Well, and it's almost cliche at this point, but all the people that are anti-science or whatever complaining about science on their cell phones in their
Yeah.
air-conditioned home, climate-controlled home.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Anyone that speaks of science in any kind of negative way, I just immediately am just like, oh, just never speak to me again. Thank you. See ya.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll read this real quick. The Iceland plant called Orca is the largest such facility in the world, capturing about 4,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. But compared to what the planet needs, the amount is tiny. Experts say 10 billion tons of carbon dioxide must be removed annually by mid-century. Effectively, in 30 years' time, we need a worldwide enterprise that is twice as big as the oil and gas industry and that works in reverse, said Julio Friedman, senior research scholar at the Center on Global Energy Policy at Columbia University. Nice, succinct title.
Indeed. They like them. They like them big.
Yeah. You can tell that he's, because that's the thing. Like, if he were in charge, it'd be like the president.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is just some dude. Like, no, I kind of sort of help with the carbon dioxide capturing, and we've really been working on it for a long time. And this is what we need.
Yeah.
And politicians are just like, oh, well, maybe, nerd. But let me see if I can save this image.
Meanwhile,
And
most of
then-
Utah is talking about how scary this winter's going to be because of the caterpillar. So, I mean,
Caterpillar.
yeah, there's a caterpillar that predicts how harsh the winter is. And they'll put that in the
Oh.
news.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let me take a look at the screen so I know where to point. Oh, I'm gonna put it right here. Here's the climate carbon dioxide sucking facility.
It's pretty.
The only other question I have is sucking the carbon dioxide and putting it back in the ground. Does that just turn into oil again? Or what is that? Is that just going to be methane?
I don't know.
And then it's like, yeah, meteor hits. And then humanity kind of crawls out of that, or another species evolves, and then they start getting the new oil out of the ground.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't think CO2 has really. I don't think it'll turn into anything. I don't know. They're like
It
storing
just
it in
disperses
tanks or
through the
what?
rocks.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of what I'd like to know more about.
Yeah.
Not like it's like, gotcha. It's just, no, it's like, well, oh, put it on the ground. What's it do down there?
Exactly. That is a good question.
But yeah. Anyway, the other weird news, well, other science news that barrels into weird news
Mm-hmm.
is 4 astronauts in orbit since spring headed back to Earth on Monday, aiming for a late night splashdown off the Florida coast. The undocking of their SpaceX capsule from the International Space Station also paved the way for a launch of their 4 replacements as early as Wednesday night. The newcomers were scheduled to launch first, but NASA switched the order because of bad weather and an astronaut's undisclosed medical condition. The welcoming duties will now fall to the lone American and 2 Russians left behind at the space station. And, I just like to update on little space news and that good things are happening. And yes, you can care about the planet and still be into space travel. I think you can do both.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna
apparently
be very
there's
useful for us.
an addition to this that you could get into.
All right. Well, the astronauts who will depart the International Space Station will be stuck using diapers on the way home because of their capsule's broken toilet. Yes. NASA astronaut Megan MacArthur described the situation as suboptimal, but manageable. She and her 3 crewmates will spend 20 hours in their SpaceX capsule from the time the hatches are closed till Monday morning's planned splashdown. Ooh, same word. So, yeah, sounds like weird news. Yeah. So yeah, they're just gonna deal with it. They're gonna do the diapers and stuff because apparently the toilet broke and they were gonna like delay it, but then they're like, nah, we already had to wait for all this other stuff, so fine.
Hell yeah. Fucking astronauts and diapers.
But apparently they also grew the first chili peppers in space up there. So they got to try some of those maybe. Yeah, and their tacos.
Wait, I think there's a picture.
There you
go. This is weird. It's hard to do. Right there. There. Okay. Well, cool. You know what? I was gonna get into Big Bird getting the vaccine and how Republicans are being all fucking stupid about it, but then also Democrats are being stupid about it by like just playing the other end of it. But fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood. I think we already got COVID enough, and
we talked
the balance of politics enough, and
judge people on their individual actions and thoughts. Stop.
I will say this. They passed an infrastructure bill that actually helps people on our tax bracket rather than tax breaks for the rich. Despite the blockings from 2 Democratic senators, Sinema and Manchin, who are the only people in the way of actually beneficial legislation for you, the listener, because I know a rich person isn't listening to this.
Nope.
And that's all I'm fucking saying. An infrastructure bill got passed. Joe Biden, while he is an ass, isn't on Twitter every single day being an ass.
He's actually doing
and being
shit.
hateful. And it's also not his job as the president to get this kind of shit done. It's Congress. And if you want somebody to blame Republicans who just fucking folded their arms and did jack shit, and Sinema and Manchin. Yep. So if you want to say, what have the Democrats done? They just did something for you. Yep. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Are both politicians wasting their time arguing over Twitter because of Big Bird rather than doing more for you? Yes. Yep. Are both parties not doing what they should for you? Yes. Is it equal? No.
Ew.
You got to work with what you got. That's all I'm going to say.
Word up.
Wait a minute. That isn't all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
All right. It's been real.
Indeed. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to The Jacob Wayne Show. If you would like to contact us, please write us at fakoshka@gmail.com. That is FAKOSHKA@gmail.com. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Simply search The Jacob Wayne Show and it should pop right up. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a review and share this podcast with your friends. Please write us. It helps add content to the show and makes the show even better for you, the listener. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the Jacob Wayne Show.